Hello and welcome to another exciting edition of I Suck at Final Fantasy XI. This is the second Scholar episode. Here I am currently a level 15 Scholar. I do hit 16 in this party though. It's a 15 sync Dunes party. Here we have a monk, warrior tank. I know that's weird. I'm unfortunately been assigned the task of healing alongside the Stancer. No, we do, and before you ask, no, we do not have anybody in the party with Cure 2. We just have the Dancer and me trying to heal the party. And Scholars do not get Cure 2 for a while. So this is painful to say the least. But look at our party composition. We have a monk warrior tank. We have what looks to be a samurai. Chippo, our monk warrior tank. We also have Dak, who I think is a samurai, I honestly forget. We have, again, that Dancer healer, Beguile, I think he's called, or Beguile, or something like that. And we also have, but pay attention to the person in rows with the staff who's attacking the mob, called Dimitri. Dimitri isn't a caster, though. He's wearing casterish things, like the Tunic, and wearing he actually is wearing caster rings, and he has a little pole, as you might see. But let me tell you something: this person doesn't have a mage job. In fact, the person doesn't even have a sub job. That's a monk. I was speechless too. Now, any monks out there who might care to explain this to me, why would a monk wear like a tunic and, you know, a pole and those kinds? I looked at his rings and he had the mind increasing rings. Well, one mind increasing ring and the other was just an Empress band that I think he might have forgotten to take off. I'm just wondering why you might do that. Does Ash Pole really do more damage than hand-to-hand at this level? I'm not really certain of the specifics. Any experienced monk can go ahead and correct me on that. But anyway, so you notice that we're having a hard time killing a snipper just because of the fact that one of our monks is trying to DD with a pole. I do try before I focus on healing, because healing between me and a Dancer, we don't have anybody in our party with Cure 2, so I'm having to cure a little more often than usual here. But I do try to make sure each of the mobs is enfeebled. I do make sure I have Dia and Paralyze up there. But you'll find that I do have to use Banish a few times just to up our damage, because, again, we have a monk trying to DD with a pole. I know I'm really harping on that, but and you know, maybe the guy's new, maybe he doesn't know what he's doing, but you know, this is what this series is all about, and I still don't understand the logic. You're a monk. Couldn't you get? I'm really curious as to whether this pole can do more damage than H to H. I mean, the other monk who's kind of our tank is using hand-to-hand. So why isn't this monk using hand-to-hand? Why is this monk? God, I'm just confused. Can any monks out there possibly give me an explanation as to why this is? But yeah, it's taking us a while to kill these crabs. And then a problem you might see later. Yeah, you see our puller there? He's pulling another clipper before the other clipper's down. And keep in mind of how long it takes us to kill each clipper. I honestly got a little confused when the second clipper joined the fight, just because I've had it was extra healing that was needed, and I kind of lost my train of thought having two clippers to fight at the same time. Now, yeah, two clippers doesn't seem like that bad, but we're gonna get back to this a little later in the video. Spoilers. Polar does the same thing and pulls a clipper when a damselfly is still up. Yes, this group is actually dumb enough to try a Damselfly without Cure 2. And yes, we almost died. The 2 Damselflies we fought. One of the Damselflies we fought was not shown in this video because we almost died to it. It was almost a total party wipe. It was embarrassing. And I know I'm still not the best player in the world either, and I know I'm picking on people in this party, but they were causing some drama too. Specifically, I don't think it's in the video, but some of them were talking. Some of the players were talking smack to some of the other players, namely the Polar, for being too slow earlier on, which might have spurred him to do the pulling things when things are still up stuff. Well, granted, some Polars argue that you should do that to keep the chain up, but we're having damage problems. We can't kill the mobs before the Polar gets done bringing them to us. So that's problematic, especially for the tank, which is really, really odd. Especially with that Damselfly. If that Damselfly had stayed up and we go pull in the Clipper, what if the Damselfly just barely gets off another Cursed Sphere? That could be a very bad situation. It didn't happen, but I was damn worried. But you'll get to it when I'll get to it more once the Damselfly part comes up. But as you can see, we're having trouble bringing the Clippers down. The drama with one of the party members yelling at the Polar might have caused all this stuff with the Polar to have happened. And it isn't in the video, but they did complain a little at me because of my inability to heal very effectively. Keep in mind, Scholar doesn't get access to Cure 2 until a little bit later. I don't have Cure 2 yet, and I'm trying my best. I have light arts on, I'm trying to focus a little more on curing than stuff. I even forget to enfeeble a couple times because I was too worried about keeping people alive. I kind of tunnel visioned, and yeah, that might be my fault, but they did complain about me. And the thing is, they actually defended the guy. There was a point where, it's not in the video, but they were actually defending the guy who was DDing Pole. Now, granted, once again, I might be wrong about this, so any experienced Monk players can correct me if I'm wrong about harping on the Monk wearing a tunic and DDing with a pole. And yeah, feel free to give me a very good analysis of why it's okay that that player does that. And granted, the player doesn't have a sub. I imagine it's locked. I imagine he's new. But if anybody could give me any explanation otherwise, that would be fantastic. Now, we're on the Damselfly now. It's nearing low health. You'll see what happens in a minute. Yeah, we're really getting... If you look at the health, I'm having a hard time keeping people up. That Cursed Sphere really knock us down to orange health. And now, near death, Polar pulls a snipper. And we still are struggling to bring down this Damselfly. We bring it down, but what if it managed to get another Cursed Sphere up? And you see there I leveled up to level 16. And then we just fight the snipper. We're still really hurt. We're like really hurting from that Damselfly still. None of us have Gear 2. The Dancer and I are just trying our best. I kind of got stuck here because one, I was lagging a little bit and having a rough time with some lag, and secondly, I was just kind of awestruck by this whole thing, and you know, that's my fault for reacting to a bad situation. I'll accept that. But you know, I eventually got back on the horse and tried to help out again. I did apologize for that, but they still felt like talking smack to me. Again, it's not really in the video, but they did complain that I wasn't pulling my weight. It's just hard when you don't have Gear 2. Scholars got it rough in the Dunes. They got it really rough in the Dunes. Not as rough as, say, a Black Mage might, but Scholars got it pretty rough in the Dunes. And I am just trying my best to help out. And this is the point where the group sort of falls apart. And that's all I gotta say about it. Yeah. I don't know if there was more I could have done to salvage that party. Maybe the guys who were talking smack to me were right and I wasn't doing my job. But any monks out there, can you please explain to me if I was right in sort of calling out that monk? I never even called the guy out in party because I didn't want to contribute to the drama. But am I right for harping on that? Was the polar and the fact that we were having problem bringing the mobs down as fast as we probably should have, and stuff like that? I would love to have your guys' input on that. Anyway, this has been Granis signing off, and I still suck at Final Fantasy XI. So hopefully not as much as these people. Good night.